Hey everybody, Levi Clay here, and I'm back again for another question and answer session. This time I'm going to be answering a scary question from one of my patrons over on patreon.com, link in the description. And Cliff writes, I'll read what he says and then I'll go into the rant, right? So Cliff writes, okay, so I just wanted to ask you about this whole copyright thing. Do you have any ideas about just how you're going to deal with this, and what kind of an effect is this going to have on your channel and all of us, your followers, students and fans? I'm really worried. You have done and achieved so much in the last few years and created one of the best channels out there, and I would hate to see that threatened, and I'm sure anyone who is familiar with your work feels the same. So first up, Cliff, that's an amazing comment and question. Thank you so much for all the kind words, and it really does mean a lot that you get stuff out of my channel. Guys like you are the reason I keep making these videos. YouTube isn't a huge earner for me. I put all this time in because it means so much when you can, create something that is of interest or use to someone else. That's the sole reason I am in this. So, for those unfamiliar with the situation, yeah, you may have seen the hashtag Save the Internet or Save Your Internet. Been doing the rounds for a good few months, and it all situated around Article 13, which is a change to the copyright laws proposed by the European Parliament. And yeah, unfortunately, despite lots and lots and lots of effort from all over the world, the bleeping boomers over at the European Parliament just decided that they were going to pass laws about the internet and how copyright should work on the internet. The internet, something these people don't use. They have no concept of it. And even if they have a basic, primitive understanding of it, they're not going to be around long enough to really see the ramifications of decisions that they make, right? And I can say that because I'm 30, right? I don't fully understand the internet in the same way that somebody that's maybe 15 understands the internet. Culture changes so fast and even more quickly in the digital age. So to be in your 60s and pretending that you have any idea about the internet or that you've got any business policing how other people use the internet is ridiculous. Now, I should say that I am still all about intellectual property rights and protecting the rights of content creators. I am a content creator. I think that anything that protects our rights is a good idea, and that doesn't just apply to my videos, it applies to my music, it applies to my books. Anything that I have put my time and effort into, I would like there to be some degree of protection around, but we already have that. So the way the law currently works is that if, for example, you decided to start a YouTube channel or a website where you decide you're going to upload Disney films. Let's say you're going to put all the Star Wars films up on a YouTube channel or on a website or whatever. The way the system currently works is you are legally responsible for the content that you've uploaded. That's how that works. And Disney would come after you. Rightfully so. You are breaching their copyright. Good. The changes that the European Union want to introduce, though, or I say want to, are going to introduce, would place the issue firmly with YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're uploading the content. That's scary, right? Let's think about this. YouTube, you know that 300 hours of video content gets uploaded to YouTube every minute. Every single minute. In the time that I've been talking to you now, almost 1,000 hours of video will have been uploaded to YouTube. And what's being suggested by the European Union is that, some magical filtering system must just be introduced by all of these companies whereby you can filter through all of that content to make sure no music goes up that doesn't belong to the person uploading it. No, they're not stealing video content that belongs to anyone else. They're not stealing text that belongs to anyone else. No photography that belongs to anyone else. Now, noble cause, but also hugely, hugely impractical. And the real scary thing is, if it is possible to do it, Facebook might be able to do it. YouTube might be able to do it. But what if you're an upstart? What if you're a new small business and you want to have a website and people are allowed to upload comments to your website or whatever, and it puts them in a position where they're actually able to upload a picture that they don't own or something like that. You are legally responsible for that. There's no way that you could possibly do that. So in my opinion, it's going to hamper small upstart websites. But that's besides the point. So a change like that, utterly ridiculous, and I just can't see a way that it's possible to do it. I talk about YouTube and 300 hours of content, but think about the sheer amount of content that gets uploaded to Facebook, the sheer amount of content that gets uploaded to Twitter, the sheer amount of content that gets uploaded to Reddit. And I'm sure, again, I'm a 30-year-old, I say, so I'm sure there are websites that I'm completely unfamiliar with where content is just being uploaded in astonishing amounts that it's impossible to go through and filter all of this stuff. So yeah, what are the big companies going to do about something like this? Well, it's all speculation, right? The only thing that I could imagine something like YouTube is going to do is make it next to impossible for people that live in countries like this to upload content, right? It's entirely possible that YouTube could just go, you know what, you live in Europe, you can't upload content. Possible, I like to think unlikely, to be honest with you, Cliff, but where's that like coming from? That like is coming from a hope. There's nothing for me to base that on. It is entirely possible that they could go that route. I like to think that what they're going to do, though, is, like I say, just make things a lot more difficult for you to upload, because essentially this is going to remove fair use from the internet. Of course it will. How else would it? If I want to upload content that has a clip of a video by someone else. I did a Stevie T video recently, and I used maybe 10 seconds of video from his clips. Now, I don't own that footage. I've used it in a fair use way. It's comment, it's criticism, it's transformative. Or my transcription videos, I use clips of things in those, and it's educational, right? This is going to make stuff like that really, really problematic. It's a scary situation, because when you upload content like that, it's entirely possible that YouTube are going to have an algorithm in place that's going to detect, oh, hang on a minute, see this 5 seconds of video here? We've already got that 5 seconds of video on record somewhere. Can you prove that you own that content and that you have the legal right to upload that? Otherwise, we can't allow you to upload it because it puts us at risk. It's almost like the DMCA system was good enough. And I say that the DMCA takedown system is not good enough. It's a bad system that's rife with abuse on both sides, both content uploaders and also people that just want to have videos taken down. I've had my fair share of DMCA takedown notifications from people that had no legal right to do so. They're doing it purely because I might say something in a video that they don't like, criticism, or point out something that they've done that's shitty. And, how else are we going to get his videos taken down? Yeah, it's just DMCA it. So it's abused by both sides, but it still is better than having nothing there. And it's definitely a lot better than what is being suggested. So honestly, Cliff, I don't really know where we go from here. What I will say to you is, I don't want to say I'm not worried, but I will roll with the punches. It's what I've always done. Adapting, seeing what's going on and trying to move with the times, keeping up to date with what's happening and just, evolving with everything. So, I've still got plenty of content that I can make. I can do a lot more educational content. I can do a lot more, teaching, technique stuff. I've got tons of stuff that I'm working on, hybrid picking lessons and the like. And I've also been toying with the idea of working on a transcription course, like, a 40-hour video course that you'd be able to sign up to. And of course, I wouldn't be able to use music that other people had written in that, because that would be out. I'd essentially be selling clips of audio that I didn't make, and that would totally violate other people's copyrights. But that's fine, because I just compose all of the music and have you transcribe things that I compose. So yeah, the point is rolling with the punches. It is scary. I just picked up Steve Vai's Videology, the new Harmony and Theory book that I was going to be doing a review of, and I'm going to do a review of that. But who knows how well something like that is going to go down on the internet of the future. Could upload it and I hold the book up and someone goes, oh, hang on a minute, you don't have the rights to display the image that's on the front of that book. That's artwork that's owned by the artist, which I believe is Steve Vai. Gone. Or I might look at the book and open it up and say, it's a really good book, and here's an example, I really like this, and I'd read the text and, oh, sorry, hang on a minute, do you have a license to read the text that's in that book? Because you didn't write that text, and there's no such thing as fair use anymore. I have, again, no basis to say that won't happen, but I just can't imagine that happening because it's so ridiculous. Having said that, I didn't think that Article 13 was going to pass in the first place. So what do I know, right? As an aside, the Article 13 situation has almost been enough for me to change my opinion about the United Kingdom leaving the European Union. It makes me consider that maybe leaving the European Union might not be such a bad thing, because I live in Scotland, right? So if I'm up in arms about this situation, there's not a whole lot I can do about a law being passed in Europe. There simply isn't. Trust me. The Scottish Parliament, the Scottish MPs, don't have any sway in the United Kingdom, let alone in Europe, right? So this is just being dictated, this is just being handed down from someone above. So I could look at the situation and go, well, on the bright side, I'm going to be leaving Europe soon. But saying that, who knows? I've got a lot of people that watch my content in Europe, and when this law comes into place, it may just mean that content outside of Europe just gets blocked. And if you're in Europe, you can't access that. Stuff like that already happens. When they brought in the new data protection laws, I forget the details on those, on what that one was called, but essentially where websites were emailing you and saying, now you need to re-sign up to our mailing list and you need to consent to all of these data protection things. When that was all happening, some websites didn't participate in that, and there are several websites that I can go on or try to go on in the US. If I recall, Sweetwater is one of them. If you're in the UK and you try and access Sweetwater, you get told, sorry, you can't access this website because we don't fall in line with the European Union's terms on data protection. Sorry, bad luck. Now, anytime something like that happens, anytime the spread of information or access to information, access to each other is taken away from us, it's an inherently bad thing. So I'm really against that, but it is what it is, Roll with the punches. I mean, look at this depressed face. We'll just roll with the punches, guys. I will keep making content no matter what, because, when I read comments like yours, Cliff, you speak so kindly and so highly about the content that I'm making that means enough. If you were the only guy watching my videos, that would be enough for me to keep making them. So who knows, maybe I'll end up having less viewers. Maybe people in Europe will no longer be able to watch my content. I hope that isn't the case, but it's not going to change my attitude towards making videos. I'm still going to keep making videos. I'm still going to be coming up with as much content as I can to give you guys a little piece of me. I enjoy doing it, and I love the fact that it touches you guys. So yeah, there we go. It's a really sad subject, but it needed to be said. So lastly, I should just say a huge thank you to these people over here. Some of these guys, well, not some of them, all of these guys really help to keep this channel going. YouTube is great at demonetizing you. There's not much money in this YouTube thing, I'll be completely honest with you. The sheer amount of time that I put into it versus what I get out of it is a scary one, but it doesn't bother me in the slightest, because, as I say, I do this for the love of making the content for you guys. But this certainly helps. It means that I can take more time out of my work schedule in order to make YouTube videos. So thank you very much, guys. It really does mean a lot. If you'd like to check me out on Patreon, you can do so by clicking this button up here. You can subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you'll see 2 more of my videos here and here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you do have any questions, do let me know in that comment section below. I'm always happy to do more question and answer sessions like this, and I'm always happy to get back to you in that comment section. So much love, and I will see you for another video soon. Laters. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere.